Hello everyone, welcome to MastersTeach, and today we'll discuss about the MBA Services Marketing. It is part of your MBA syllabus. So let us have introduction to Services Marketing. So what is services? It can be done. The service is something which can be done to a person or to a business for another. You can't touch it or own it, but still gives you value. So let us see the scope and importance. So it makes over 70% of India's economy. Services includes banking, insurance, travel, healthcare, education and transport. So it focuses on giving customers a good experience. So it is not a tangible. Okay. So nature of services marketing. So the customer is the center point of it. So it builds a long-term relationship with the business. So it creates a value through experience. So you cannot separate from the person providing it. So simply say that service marketing giving customers value through things they experience, not things they take home. Okay. So classification of services. Okay, it is broadly categorized four things. Let me explain each one. Okay, see, people's processing, possession processing, and mental stimulus, information processing. What is people processing? So example, service done on the customer's body. Okay, the service is done on the customer's body, like healthcare, saloon, transport. Whereas possession processing, service done on things customer own, like car repair, bike repair, laundry, freight, etc. Then mental stimulus, which means the services which affects how the people think or feel. For example, through education, entertainment, consulting. Then information processing, so service based on data like banking, insurance, legal, accounting. Okay, these are the what are the types of customer? Okay, consumer services, which includes retail banking, tourism, business services, which includes information technology, consulting, logistics, then public services, government and defense, then professional services, law, medicine, architecture, etc. So you have to learn this. If you want to take the screenshot of this, you can take and write boldly. That will be good. Then what is the characteristics of services? Okay, so one is intangibility. Okay, that means you cannot see or touch. Okay, before buy it. So what to do? Show proof through reviews, physical cues. Example, insurance policy. Okay, so inseparability, service is created, used at the same time. What to do? Train a staff who deal with customers directly. Example, doctor consultation. Then variability and heterogeneity, that means service quality can differ based on whom, when or where. What to do? So follow the standard steps to keep quality consistent. For example, hotel services. Perishability, so service cannot be stored or saved for later. So what to do? Plan ahead. Okay, match supply with the demand. For example, airline seat. Okay, if the seats are not filled, that become perishability. That means no value will come. So what you have to remember, the characteristic of services, IHIP, that means intangibility, heterogeneity, inseparability and perishability. So remember these four characteristics, that will be yield good marks. Then product versus services. Product versus services. Here this is a product and this is a service. So the dimension or nature, tangibility. Product have physical, you can touch and feel, where services you cannot touch but it has the experience. Ownership. So once the product is sold, buyer owns after the purchase. In service, no ownership, just you have to use. Production and consumption. So made first, used later. So made and used at the same time. So the product can be stored, whereas service cannot be stored. Okay. Then standardization, same quality for every time. The quality may differ each time to every person. So the customer involvement in product low, whereas customer involvement is more high. Okay, return possibility can be written, the service cannot be written. So try to remember the same, and difference between product and services you have to write. This is the products and this is the uh, services. Remember the same. Then that will be good enough. Then growth and trends and challenges in service marketing. So what is the reason for growth, and what is the recent trends, and what is the key challenges. So as more money, better living standards come. So service market is essential. More people moving to cities, and their living partners got changed. New technology and global trade, more business hiring outside expert. So these are the reason for growth. Okay, why this service market is grown? Because more money people have, people move to cities, and new technology, and due to international trade, then business hiring the outside experts. So retail trends. Nowadays, the service marketing got the new trend. It is artificial intelligence powered. So mobile first services is there. Platform based. So multiple channels customer experience, online, offline, etc. Personalized services, self service options. These are the recent trends. What is the key challenges? Okay, so hard to show value and keep quality consistent. The quality should maintain every time. Up and downs and demands and limited capacity. So the service demand increases, sometimes decreases. Heavy reliance on staff handling services mistakes. So building customer trust and meeting expectation is very difficult. Keeping up with the new technology. So previously the service have moved from traditional to digital, and now smart AI driven. So the things got changed. So this is about the growth, trends, challenges in service marketing. Okay, there are 7 P's of service marketing. Okay, so you have to remember, many times they ask in the examination, what is the 7 P's of service marketing? Product, price, promotion, place, people, process, physical evidence. Okay, there are seven P's of service marketing mix. Product. Okay, so the main service you offer, there is saving bank account. Price. Okay, what you change, airline ticket, etc. Promotion. So promotion means how you spread the business about the world through advertises, through social media, through referrals, etc., through word of mouth. Then place, where how the customers get the services, through branches, through mobile apps, through agents. People, so staff who deliver the services. So the people can be doctors, teachers, bankers, tellers, etc. Process, so the 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 steps taken to deliver the services, for example hospitals, check-in, etc. Physical evidence, so where the customers see and feel, or touch and feel, so uniforms and brochures, decorations, etc. These are the seven pieces of service marketing: product, price, promotion, place, people, process, physical evidence. So remember these, it will give good marks. Okay, consumer behavior in services: how the consumer acts in the services. So when you're buying a services, customer take more steps into feel more uncertainty, then they buy a product. So they rely on what others say and their own past experience. So the customer won't buy the product. It is how the people says about the product, as well as his past experience makes to take the services. Okay, need recognition. So need is required, then they search for the information, they evaluate the different alternatives, then they take the they buy, and the service can be consumed. So the special features of this consumer behavior in services: perceived risk. So customers feel more unsure because service can't be seen or touched before they buy in. Okay, you go to hospital, whether you get cured or not, you don't know. Okay, there is the thing. Experience quality: you can only judge these after services. So you go to the restaurant and you have the meal, how you felt, that is a restaurant meal. Then credence and qualities: after using the services, it's hard to know if it was good or not. The surgery, okay, that is the thing. Then word of mouth: people trust recommendation from the friends, families, and the most. These are the consumer behavior in services. First, what they need, they get. Then they search for the information. Then they like have the different alternatives. Then they comes to purchase decision. Then they will have the service consumption. Okay, so customer expectation, zone tolerance. Okay, so here customer desired services, ideal level of customers hope for, zone of acceptance range of services, adequate services, minimum acceptable services. So these are the factors in influence. Okay, personal needs, past experience, word of mouth, then explicitly, implicitly. Types of expectations of the customer: desired services. Okay, this is the desired of the services. Okay, the best level of the services customer hopes to get. Adequate services, the lowest level of the services will customer accept. Predicted services, what the customer think actually happens. Then zone of tolerance, so the gap between best and acceptable services, that is called as zone of tolerance. So what shapes expectation? So people needs, past experience, word of mouth, promise made by the company. So this is the thing we have to remember: customer expectation and zone of tolerance is a customer expect and what the customer needs between the zone of tolerance. Okay, then customer perception, satisfaction, service encounters. Okay, this is the thing. Let us discuss about the customer perception, satisfaction, and customer encounters. Okay, these are the customers expectation, service experience, customer perception, and satisfaction. So the service encounters, so moment of truth: every time the customer interact with a staff member. Okay, when the customer interact with the staff in a organization. Self service encounter, so customer uses ATMs, apps, various machinery, and how staff behaves affects customers feel. These are the how the customer encounters the services. So then if if they the service recovery in this encounter something goes wrong, how the service can be recovered strategy. So accept the mistake, say sorry, act act fast, then fix the problem, offer something, check back, learn from mistakes, and they don't happen again. So this is the customer perception, satisfaction, service encounter. So when the service is better than what the customer expected, they feel delighted, and they are more likely to come back and tell others. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, service development design, how the service can be developed or improved, and the decision. So the idea, okay, idea should be the customer centric. Okay, and the concept, analyze, design, test. So creating services needs a clear step process. This helps the services meets the customer needs, makes business sense, that can actually deliver before they launch. Customer center. So new ideas comes from the customer needs, but they don't have it. Process innovation. So change how the service is delivered to it make fast and better. Then technology innovation. So using digital tools, it is offer new better services. Experience innovation, that is customer journey enjoyable and easy to remember. Okay, we'll go to the unit 3, physical evidence, servicescape, and role in service delivery. Physical evidence. So like when the customer outside or inside the building, and the signs how the employee looks, the printed material, other tangible items. Then uh, employees role. So they represent the brand and deliver the services. They manage their emotions, build a service culture. Okay, then there is a servicescape. It is a business model, ambiguous conditions. So when the customer enter into organization, the temperature, music, lighting, which affects the customer services, spatial layout, how the furniture equipments are arranged, signs and symbol, directions, guides, and brands. These are the servicescape which is given by business model. Then employees like customers role, they are active part in the service delivery. They help uh, like shape quality by taking the part. Co-creation, they create value together with the provider. So like servicescape, how customer behaves, how they judge the quality of services. This is a servicescape, like ambient conditioning, temperature, music, lighting, decoration, etc. Spatial layout, how the furniture is arranged in the office, and signs and symbol, direction, guides, and this is the thing. So what you have to remember, this is the thing. Okay, then we'll see about the self-service technology, service channels. Self-service means without involving any human being. For example, ATMs, KISKs. Okay, so where you through ATM you can check the balance, you can withdraw the amount, you make the service request, or even for KISKOs, which through which you can obtain something like that. Then mobile apps and portals through websites, okay, through apps. So they manage banking, travel, health needs in your phone, on your phone. Then chatbox and AI, like they get answers questions, okay, instantly at any time of the day. Then intermediaries, that means agents, franchise, websites, and online channels. So these are the self-service technologies, service channel. So what is the use of this? So this self-services technologies, it saves the time and easy to use. And what is the risk? Sometimes breakdown, sometimes customer resist change, and sometimes security issues. How to manage uh, demand, capacity, and marketing communication. So managing demand, so different prices at different times. So they charge, the service charges more during the busy hours, less during the quiet hours. Use booking system, offer deals during the slow period. So run promotion to attract customer in less busy times. This is a managing demand. Okay, managing capacity. You should have the flexible staff who can do multiple jobs, share resources, use the technology to do more or less. Let the customer help with the parts of the service themselves. This is managing capacity. Then integrated services marketing communication. Okay, advertising. How you can advertise? Through TV, through online, through outdoor ads. Then personal selling. So building relationship with customers, digital communication, social media, and email. Okay, then public relationship. So how you manage the brand. Okay, then keep the same message across all the channels. So what you have to remember, match supply and demand. So this is the thing. Then mapping gaps in service. Well, okay, we'll see here. Okay, just have this. Kindly be online. Let me check. Here we'll discuss about the pricing gaps model and SERVQUAL. Okay, here there is a gap model. Okay, so knowledge gap. So we misunderstand the customer's expectation. And gap to policy gap. So wrong services standard gaps. Then delivery gap. Standard is not met with the delivery. Then gap, communication gap. So promises exceeded delivery. Then gap 5, customer gap. So customer expected versus perceived services. These are the gaps model. Okay, then the service model triangle. So let us discuss what it is. Okay, company, employees, customer. Okay, so company and customer. So and internal marketing, external marketing, interactive marketing. So like company and employees, this the communication between them, employee and company. So this is called as internal marketing. Company to employees enable the promises, whereas company to customers, it is external marketing. So company to customers making promises. Okay, then interactive marketing, so employees to customers keeping promises. This is the service marketing triangle. So three types of uh, service marketing triangle. External marketing, so company to customers, so making promises to customers through ads and promotions. Internal marketing, company to employee, so helping employees to do their job through trained and services. Interactive marketing, employees and customers, so keeping promises when the employees actually service customers. So all three these sides are triangles must together to give the good services: company, employees, customers. So this is called as the service marketing triangle. Okay, then marketing of financial banking services. Okay, how the marketing and of banking products and services and financial products and services. So in order to do banking, or in order to do have financial transaction, they check the customer must trust the bank before doing the business. The trust is essential. Then CRM, customer relationship management, so building long-term relationship to keep the customers coming back. Digital banking, okay, use mobile apps, net banking, UPI, chatbots, etc. Then service quality, so making sure that service are reliable, fast and helpful. Security, so customers data need to be keeping safe and preventing fraud. Personalization, so offering right products to the right customer, loans, insurance, investment for each customer. So in financial services, trust is the most important thing a bank can offer its customer. Okay. Then marketing of tourism. Okay, tourism service, how can be done? The key characteristics of tourism services: it can't be saved. Okay, an empty hotel room lost its money. So demand goes up and down with the season. People buy experience, not just services. Services are sold as a package: travel plus hotel plus activities. So in tourism, what happened? The service cannot be saved. If the hotel is empty, that means there is a lost. Uh, like if the season, for example, some of the resorts, they have more seasonal demand, so the customer buy the experience, not services. So what is the strategies, what is the plans need to be done marketing of this tourism services? Okay, destination marketing, so you have to promote the particular destination like Goa, something like that. And digital platform, so in order to do service marketing in tourism, use the social media and use influencers. Customer review, take the review of customers, so TripAdvisor, Google rating, something like that. Then lower pricing in off season, if the not season, unseasonal, that time you have to give the low price and loyalty rewards, etc. So this banking versus tourism marketing, this is about the destination, this is the banking, this is the tourism. So core value in banking and insurance, like trust and safety, whereas tourism, experience and memories are required. Key challenges, so in banking there is a fraud and rules happen, whereas this tourism market is a seasonal one. Okay, some season have the uh, good demand, some seasons don't. Digital role, so in banking we have the payment and transfer, whereas tourism, findings, booking trips, etc. Then quality measure, speed and accuracy in banking is essential, so guest experience is rating is essential. This is a marketing of tourism services. Okay, then marketing of transport and health services. Okay, so in transport services, you need to have reliability, safety. So when you travel, it should be have the customer should, the passenger should need safety. Okay, then reliability, convenience, so good roads, easy booking, fair price is the thing. Then technology experience, live tracking, online ticketing, comfortable travel, these are the transport services. Whereas healthcare services, so they need to have trust and competent qualified doctors like MDs, something like that. Patient can trust easily. Patient experience, so careful caring staff, then clear communication and clean environment should be there in the hospital. Then ethical communication, so clear pricing should be there, patient consent is required and easy to access the care. So both sectors, like where it is transport or health sector, both need to have trust, reliability and good service quality is the heart of their marketing. Okay, so what we learn here, okay, we completed 5 chapters. Go through this particular PPT again and again, so that it will be helpful to you. So even for the general public also, watch this particular video and learn about the service sector. Okay, so that service marketing, it is easy to understand and interesting topic. Okay, thank you for watching. Please do subscribe and share with your friends. Signing off, your Mohan sir.